Until Dawn was an interactive drama horror video game that was developed by Supermassive Games and published by Sony. The project was initially released in 2015, and now rumors are circulating that the game is getting a remake. There's a lot of discourse already surrounding the rumor, especially considering if a 7-year-old game needs a remake. Let's break down where the rumors come from, and if we should really be expecting an Until Dawn remake. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check those out and support those original writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into the Until Dawn rumors and leaks. The rumors come from the user on Twitter, account NGT. They are the user that correctly leaked Star Wars Eclipse before the reveal at the Game Awards, so the user has been correct with large titles and very recently. Their post about Until Dawn said, quote, "From what I've heard from several separate sources, in addition to their new games, Supermassive is reportedly working on a remake of Until Dawn for some time that will be coming to current gen consoles. I will try to find out more about this potential project." And immediately this post started to gain traction. A remake of a game that is not that old is a big statement. Mind you, they specifically say a remake and not a remaster. It's expected that this project could vary in terms of story and almost everything in the game. But the part that has most fans hung up is the fact that this project is allegedly coming to current generation consoles. The IP is technically owned by Sony, so Supermassive would not be able to create any more games with the Until Dawn branding unless Sony is on board, which leaves a few different possibilities. The first being that Supermassive has purchased back the rights for Until Dawn from Sony, similar to the Alan Wake situation, which would allow the studio to now have full control over the IP. The second possibility is that Sony is allowing Supermassive to develop the game with a wide release. Recently, Sony has been more willing to release on PC, but releasing on the Xbox consoles still seems out of the question. The third possibility is that this rumor is fake and no game is in the works. After the post started to gain traction, the user released an update which said, quote, "I have this information since December. I've been careful, as always, to check if it is true or not. I'm not doing this for clout." And they're doubling down on their information, and they are saying that this is true according to their sources. One piece of confirmed information that helps the case for a remake is Supermassive has said they don't see themselves returning to make an Until Dawn sequel, and would rather stick with anthology games, which they confirmed in an interview with Game Informer in 2019. So at least if the studio was willing to return to a franchise, a remake seems more likely than a sequel. And I want to close out by covering one other alleged leak. This one I do not trust at all. It comes from 4chan, but I think it's fun to discuss. Especially since even if it is what one fan wants, I think it works as discussing how a potential remake would be different than the original game. The post says the game is coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. The game will include a shared story mode from the Dark Pictures, and the team worked to bring back the actors from the original game, including Rami Malek. The game is also apparently changing the canon to fit into the Dark Pictures universe. The first half of the game has been completely redone, and now the killer is an actual killer and not Josh. The Wendigos get more screen time in the remake, there are more branching paths, and more screen time for characters such as Matt and Jessica, along with more deaths and endings. The post then elaborates about some of the new paths. They heard that Chris, Ashley, and Josh can die in the first half of the game. There's no longer plot armor for Mike and Sam. Mike can now die at the sanatorium. Sam can now die in the caves, and Mike can save Jessica in Chapter 4 and they can explore the sanatorium together. Finally, if Mike escapes the Wendigo in Chapter 6, he now shows up at the lodge at the same time Emily does in Chapter 8. And while I wouldn't put too much faith in this leak, I do agree in the information in broad strokes. There will definitely be changes in terms of story, and if they have purchased back the IP from Sony, it would make sense the studio would want to change the canon to match the Dark Pictures story. In terms of getting all the actors back, that seems like a logistical nightmare, and I'm still unsure about all of this in general. Either way, that is where the rumors and leaks end. I'm interested in this and would buy and play an Until Dawn remake. I was a fan of the original, and I don't think it would be the worst idea for Supermassive to revisit the IP. That's where I'm going to end this video, and that should cover all the Until Dawn remake rumors. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.